Greetings, fellow captains, and welcome back to another episode of World of Warships with the Hive Hand. And today we have Go Hard or Go Home. This video is going to be based on the Tier 7 Vladivostok, which is being piloted today by Mitch Price, YT, which, yes, stands for YouTube. He does have a channel. He's quite new, but he's making some pretty good content. Well, South African accent, how can you not love that? You will find his description below in the comments, in the description, and also ways on how to submit clips. So whilst we're waiting for it to get into the action, there is something that I do quickly want to mention, and that is the Bureau missions. I know they're Tier 4 and 3 and 2, 3, 4, 5, and I know we don't like playing 2, 3, 4 and 5s, and yes, jumping into AI makes it much quicker. But I got my first ever AI loss because 3 ships on my team jumped in and just logged out, and expected everyone else to carry them to their free victory. Don't be so lazy. If you can't be bothered to play the ships, and you don't want to, if you can't be bothered, it takes 5 minutes. Just play the game. 25 minutes. That's all of your ships done. 20 if you're lucky enough to have the same ship on 2 separate missions. If you have premium time and you are researching too. But yeah, just don't be so lazy. God damn it. Now back to the game. I've ranted about that now. I am happy. So as you can see, Mitch has spawned in the centre of the map, which, let's be honest, is never a particularly good place to spawn. So he moved forward slightly, put out his plane. I don't know whether putting out the plane as early as he did was a good thing or a bad thing. Yes, you watch incoming torpedoes, but you need the destroyers to get in a bit closer, and it could have been a bit of a waste. I probably would have saved it for another minute, but well, who am I to judge? It's very early in the game, and let's see how Mitch handles this Tier 7 Russian monstrosity. Now, as you can see, what Mitch is doing, zooming in and out like that and giving me a mild headache, is the console does have a bit of an auto-aim function. It's not full auto-aim, it's like a guided aim. So if you click in and out, it'll give you, if you're aiming for the superstructure, if you're aiming for the bottom of the hull. So that is something I don't think all that many people know, that the feature's there and know how to use it. But it is definitely something, particularly if you're quite new to the game and you're trying to learn how to aim and shells are missing a lot. Now, it's not perfect, it's not 100% accurate. As you can see, what Mitch is doing here is he's using the auto aim feature, and then he's looking for the ship because it's behind the hull and adjusting, because it's never 100% spot on. Yes, you'll probably hit them, but probably only with half your shells, and that correction of his aim landed him his first citadel of the match, and that is 25,000 damage so far. Obviously, he's still over there. It's a cruiser, we're in a battleship, and he had the cheek to shoot back at us, so Mitch is going to try and finish him off as quickly as possible, because nobody likes getting set on fire. And he did score a decent hit, a couple of bounces, a couple of overpens, and landed him another 5,000 damage as the Jean Bart starts attacking him. But as you can see, Mitch is bow tanking the ships up front, which is why he's concentrating on the ships on his flank. And he's coming under fire from that Kutuzov. So, well, he's there, he's broadside. It is long range, which Russian battleships aren't really known for his accuracy, but he scored 6,000 damage, and it's enough to make the Kutuzov turn round, which is going to make it harder for him to hit us as we finally start pressing forward. Now, it's always worth paying attention to the map and trying to see what else is going on in the game. So, there's a ship awfully close to one of our destroyers on the eastern flank. which I'm expecting to see deleted really quickly. The destroyer's still there, so he's probably in smoke. And we are now the closest person to one of their destroyers. So the western flank is looking pretty clear now. So all Mitch really has to contend with are the spotted ships and the ships that are headed in. And needs to be aware that, yes, there is a destroyer in the area. It is looking for us. And that's why Mitch has got his plane up. Because your planes might not spot the enemy destroyers, but they will give you a slightly earlier warning on enemy torpedoes. I don't know if enough people realise this, but spotter planes do actually spot torpedoes. So whereas you only get a, you know, maybe a 1.3 to maybe 1.8 kilometre notice that there are torpedoes incoming, that aircraft can extend that. And you know, particularly when you're in a big slow battleship, that's what you want to use your plane for. It's not for spotting people, it's for spotting torpedoes. And as you can see, the flank is being pushed by that Kutuzov. So Mitch very, very smartly decides to take aim at the ship on his flank. He's bow tanking pretty much the rest of the enemy team at this point. And as you can see, they're hitting him. They are doing damage, but he's bow tanking. It's absolutely minimal. And you don't really want to lose a destroyer either. So giving that destroyer some assistance on that flank is definitely the right way to go about it. So it looks like the Kutuzov has stopped in his smoke. Stopped in his smoke, well, he's smoking up. But I don't think he's going to... is he going to survive? And another nice salvo, taking us up to just over 60,000 damage. And there, Mitch gets set on fire, but instead of burning his repair kit to mitigate the damage, he hits the repair. Is that the right thing to do? You are limited on the amount of repairs you have, so using that heal to mitigate the damage was probably not the best move, but we'll see how that plays out as the game progresses. Yes, it did mean he took less damage because he was repairing all the incoming fire damage, and there, that Kutuzov is gone, so that's a big weight off his shoulders. And there, see again, that set on fire. Now, I don't want to criticise Mitch too much, but he had one fire earlier, he burnt his repair and burnt his cooldown. On a battleship, specifically if you've got Kutuzovs right in front of you, Jesus Christ, he just hit that Charles Martel hard, putting us up to a little under 90,000 damage. But see, now he's got 4 fires, so you don't want to use your repair whilst there are still cruisers around or British battleships that are going to set you on fire. You want to hold those back, because if you use it and you put it out, they're just going to set you on fire again, and whilst your repair's on cooldown, they're just going to burn you down. And as you can see, they did take quite a bit of Mitch's health off, although the Vladivostok I think has a quicker repair party cooldown than most other battleships, which saved him. And yeah, that was probably the right time to use that heal. He's still got one more heal to use, but the cooldown on that is a little longer. As you can see, he is just getting inundated with fire. He's taking the focus off all his other ships, and there we go again. There is yet another fire. So calm down, Mitch, hold off. Do not burn that damage control ability just yet. Your heal's still mitigating most of that damage anyway. And you really need to get rid of that Kutuzov. So obviously the Kutuzov being the irritation that he is, Mitch fires at him, and again a nice hit. But unfortunately the Kutuzov lives to spam another salvo another day. And we're up to a very respectable 112,000 damage. And both the west and eastern flanks are now cleared. And these ships that Mitch has been baiting, essentially, that's what it. He's been baiting their shots this entire time. And this is a key feature, I think, of the Russian ships. They're tanky. They can take a beating. Yes, their heals are limited, but their repairs come back faster from fires compared to other battleships. And you can see a lot of AP is being fired at him, and the AP is just bouncing off. The majority of the damage has come purely from those fires. And again, that Kutuzov seems to be getting away with it. So, come on, Mitch, I have faith. He promised me this is going to be good. So, we're going to see exactly how this works out. Right, okay, so as you can see, that Charles Martel has now been spotted. And if you noticed, Mitch has lost a gun. He only has a single turret on the front of his ship at this point. So, Charles Martel is low. So, if we can kill him and get rid of him, well, that's exactly what we should do. A ship with 1 HP can do as much damage as a ship with all its HP. Particularly an annoying French cruiser that is going to repeatedly set you on fire if you give them the chance. So, unfortunately, the Charles Martel has disappeared. And once again, the remaining enemy destroyer has now spotted Mitch. Not just spotted Mitch, he's been spotted the whole time. What am I talking about? Is now the closest target. But Mitch's plane is unfortunately still on cooldown. As he tries to use his 2 remaining guns to focus the Hood. Because the Hood's sailing broadside and it is the easiest target. But the Hood also quite a tanky ship, particularly when angled. You see that Charles Martel is firing armor piece at him, and it's not doing anything. It's just bouncing off. So he's pretty much right to ignore him at this point. Although the temptation for the easy kill, I think, has overcome him. No, he's looking around. The Jean Bart's not full broadside, but he's given a decent angle. So that is a shot that you want to take. And that was a nice salvo, taking us up to just under 150,000 damage. And his rear turret, luckily the rotation is so slow, it's still over the other side of the ship, and that allows him to take another shot at the Charles Martel. And there we go. Picks up his first kill of the game, the 150,000. He does get set on fire by I believe that is actually still the Kutuzov that's left alive. But burns his repair kit. The Kutuzov is behind an island, and there we go. Confederate medal, 157,000 damage. And again, see, Jean Bart shooting at the armor piercing at the bow. Not a scratch. Absolutely nothing. Mitch gets away with that. And fortunately, that Kutuzov didn't manage to fire another salvo. Now, pay attention to what Mitch did there. Instead of shooting at the hull, because he was angled, he aimed up, hit the superstructure, because you're not going to damage a battleship with a really heavily angled hull. And Kutuzov pops out, rear turret, firing away. I don't know how the Kutuzov is doing no damage, and juicy citadel, and that Kutuzov is going to very quickly reverse behind that island. And unfortunately, Mitch finally succumbs to the Jean Bart after dealing 174,000 damage. And okay, I think Mitch made a couple of mistakes in that match, but he did showcase absolutely perfectly the strengths of that Vladivostok and how it should be played. You're tanky, pay attention, don't let yourself get outflanked, which is why he focused on the New Orleans and the Kutuzov that was trying to flank in the early part of the game. Once your flanks are clear, push forward. Anything in front of you, it's not a problem. Just tank the damage. There's not much that they can do besides set you on fire. And when they do, the ships that can set you on fire, try and focus them down as quickly as you can. And that's the end of the match. So let's have a look at these end plates. So 4,000 XP, 174,000 damage, high caliber, and the Confederate medal, and just shy of 2,800 base XP. So very well played there by Mitch. Thank you very much for submitting it. And well, I hope you enjoyed the video. And until next time, take care.